Okay, I'm back with a 600-mile review of the Honda Ruckus. I want to start out with some negatives to get those out of the way. For me and where I live and what I do, storage is the first negative. There's nothing on the Ruckus that came with the bike that lets you have storage options. The second negative that I would say about the Ruckus is be careful what gas you choose. I say that because my first fill up from the Honda dealership, I had no issues with it starting and staying running after it got started. It's once I filled up with the 87 octane gas that I let it sit for 3 or 4 days without starting it up, and it took me forever to get it started. And I drove it and it ran fine, but I started it up every day after that until I put premium in it, and I have not had that issue once since I've put premium. That's the two negatives that I can say that's a knock on the bike itself. Other than that, that's the only thing I can say negative about it. It's been a great addition to what I like to do. I have a motorcycle that's I can do anything on as well, but this gave me an option to cruise and kind of take it a little easy and not be so stressed out where I live. Now, if I lived in a city and I couldn't keep up with traffic, it might be an issue, but for where I live and what I like to do, it's been an excellent purchase, and I recommend everybody getting one. So that's just a couple of the negatives. I would say one other thing is the foot pegs. They should have came with some type of foot pegs. I understand why they didn't put them on there, but it's an easy fix. Like I said, the things that I have issues with the bike isn't a knock on the scooter itself. It's an excellent purchase, and I recommend anybody who's looking into getting one, get one, because they're just awesome. All right, now to the review. I purchased this because, one, I was looking at e-bicycles. Not an e-motorcycle, but an e-bicycle. And I found that even the good ones on the reviews and stuff that I looked up, they got around 100 plus miles per recharge on the good ones. And those are quite expensive. They can range from $3,000 to $5,000 to $6,000. I was looking at an e-bike. That's what I was going with because I do bicycle, and I already had a motorcycle. But I found the Ruckus to be way better than that for what I like to use it for. And I just like the ease of use. It gets about the same mileage as a recharge on an e-bicycle, but you can carry a gallon of gas like I do with you, and you can extend that for another 100 plus miles. And some of the places that I go to and I will go to in the future, gas stations are kind of few and far between, and you could be out 100 miles, 35 or 40 there and 35 or 40 back, and if you don't include any of your driving around, then you could be out of gas. So the add-on with the gas jug was the way I went, and I did choose a more expensive one because I don't like the cheap jugs. They're hard to strap onto vehicle or motorcycles and stuff, and that's what I have on my big bike as well. Okay, so the review is I love it. Anybody who is looking to get something like this just needs to go buy one. The issues I have with the bike that when I bought it for me personally is the storage options and the bugs and the wind. This bug shield, this was clean, and I rode it last night and it's already full of bugs. That's why I went with the windshield and the brush guards. Those don't have to be in areas where bugs aren't real bad, but they're bad here, especially certain times of the year. So that was an add-on, and of course I added my phone because I like having phone access to my phone and stuff. And And then, of course, I do have a water jug that goes to the Roto packs. These Roto packs are awesome. And then this is just an old Coca-Cola plastic milk crate that I put some bungee over. That's what I use when I run into the town that's closest by me to pick up a few things, because I try to find every excuse in the world to ride this thing. And the speed issue. Okay, the speed issue for me is not an issue. I know a lot of people struggle with that, probably because they live in town where maybe the speed limits are 35 to 45. For me, my cruising speed is around 35 to 40. You know, it maxes out at about 42. I do not have an issue with the speed. I do not have an issue with anything of that, because where I ride at and what I like to do, I bought this as a substitute for an e-bicycle, not a motorcycle. This is a scooter. And I viewed it when I bought it as such, and I'm not trying to make it be anything that it's not. Let me see here. I wrote down a couple of other things. Went over the gas problems. The tires, okay, the tires. For me, the tires that came on it are probably good enough. I could see where somebody who drove in the city would probably want a smoother running tire and not so noisy. For me, these are fine. I did buy 2 different sets of tires for this Ruckus when it gets cooler. One of them is a soft, knobby rubber, and the other one is a little bit more of a harder rubber compound. I'm going to try both of them and see which ones I like what I like best, and I'll do a review on those whenever I get them on and put some miles under them. Like I said, getting back to the speed issue, it's not a problem. I don't look at changing anything. I did change the oil. I do have a couple of new spark plugs I'm going to try. I don't really think they'll do a whole lot. I just maybe help on startups or something. But my main issue was the storage and, you know, just the wind and the bugs. You know, those are easily fixed, you know. And I'm very happy with the setup that I have now. It's just something I wish I would have bought one a long time ago. I really like this thing a lot. So my 600-mile review is I love it. And if you're ever thinking about getting one, pick one up, because depending on what you like to do, I think it could fit anybody's purpose. And if it doesn't fit your purpose, you can buy some add-ons and attachments that make it yours. And that's what I've done with mine. For what I like to do, this has been awesome, and I'm anxious to check out my new tires when I get them on. I'm not going to do that until the weather cools off some, because they are knobbies and I don't want the asphalt going to the locations that I like to go to prematurely wear them out. But I will get back to you in another video. I've got some stuff I'd like to share as far as what I like to pack for fishing, hunting, and camping that I do on my motorcycle that have really worked well on the Ruckus as well. So thanks guys for watching, and